the courts start to speak on AI. As you guys know, there's a lot of controversial aspects of AI, and the use of facial recognition is one of them. There's a lot of controversy about facial recognition for a few different reasons. One is privacy, obviously, but another is bad algorithms behind the sensor that leads to mistakes and bias. So this is a pretty serious issue, and the courts have started to speak. Detroit changes rules for police use of facial recognition after wrongful arrest of black man. And thanks to The Guardian for this article, the city of Detroit has agreed to pay $300,000 to a black man who was wrongly arrested for shoplifting, and to change how police use facial recognition technology to solve crimes after the software identified him as a suspect. The conditions are part of a lawsuit settlement with Robert Williams. His driver's license photo was incorrectly flagged by facial recognition software as a likely match to a man seen on a security video at a Shinola watch store in 2018. So as you can tell, this case has been going on for a while, one way or another. We are extremely excited that going forward there will be more safeguards on the use of this technology, with our hope being to live in a better world because of it, Williams told reporters, even though what we would like for them to do is not use it at all. Defending Mr. Williams was the Civil Rights Litigation Initiative at the University of Michigan Law School and others. They argued that the technology is flawed and racially biased. So there's been a ton of articles about how these facial recognition systems do relatively well with white people, but they make frequent mistakes with black people, with Hispanic people, and with Asians here in the United States. Obviously in China, they use facial recognition every single place outside in public, and those algorithms are obviously trained to be specific to Chinese people, generally speaking. Detroit police will be prohibited from arresting people based solely on facial recognition results. They won't make arrests based on photo lineups generated from a facial recognition search. In other words, what they were doing was creating a virtual lineup using facial recognition and then just showing people pictures, not live people. There was no immediate comment from Detroit police on the settlement. Last August, while the litigation was still active, so that's August of 2023, Chief James White announced new policies about the technology. The move came after a woman who was 8 months pregnant said she was wrongly charged with carjacking. So this is an excellent example of the point in many research articles that states that this software is not well developed enough and makes frequent mistakes, particularly regarding people of color. P.S. It's unlikely that a woman 8 months pregnant is going to be out carjacking. The agreement with Williams says Detroit police will go back and look at cases from 2017 to 2023 in which facial recognition was used. A prosecutor will be notified if police learned that an arrest was made without other independent evidence. So this settlement does not bar use of facial recognition. It bars only the use of facial recognition to charge someone. There has to be other independent evidence. When someone is arrested and charged based on facial recognition scan and a lineup results, they often face significant pressure to plead guilty. Now, having nothing to do with AI, this is well known in research that someone who is picked out of a lineup, even if they're innocent, is under intense pressure to plead guilty. That is all the more true if an individual, unlike Mr. Williams, has a criminal record. So a few points here. Because facial recognition software is flawed, and it's well known that it's flawed, Detroit police now cannot rely solely on that to charge someone with a crime. They have to have other independent evidence before they charge someone with a crime. So that's number one. Number two, however, facial recognition software can still be used. Will this software get better over time? Yes, because the exponential improvement rate in AI. However, it's now that really matters, and that's why the settlement requires them to go back all these years when facial recognition software didn't even work as well as it works now and was even more prone to mistakes. And then finally, the courts clearly have never addressed the issues about someone being picked out of a lineup and charged, and the intense pressure on them to plead guilty, even if they were actually innocent and later proven to be innocent, which is not everyone, right? So what the law is supposed to do is to balance things. That's why the image of legal practice is the scales, balancing competing interests. So there's more work to do here, but particularly on these facial recognition algorithms, because they've been shown repeatedly to be biased. And that obviously needs to be addressed. But now the courts are starting to speak on that. So that's real human impact for you folks. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, please be sure to support us on Patreon. We need your financial support now to be able to go to TED AI in the fall. So we'd really, really appreciate your support so we can keep you on the cutting edge of AI. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.